Hey guys, LevelCap here, and this is Next Car Game. It's a spiritual successor to the game Flatout. It's made by Bugbear Entertainment, and basically it's the revival of the Flatout series. Now, Flatout was a really fun physics-based racing car game using old school muscle cars and dirt track racing with just tons of destruction involved with the races. And this here is just taking it to the next level. This is a fun little demo map that they give you if you buy the alpha copy of the game on Steam, and you can just go through and test out the destruction physics on the car right now, which are very, very impressive. Now, generally speaking, I only do shooters on this channel, but because physics and physics engines have become such a big part of shooter games and stuff like that, this is one of the few games I've seen where they really just do give you an open world environment and give you total freedom in how the physics work in the racing environments too. Now, you can actually race in this game too, it's not just a sandbox, but the fact is the physics engine level has really gotten to a level that's very, very impressive, and so much stuff is scripted in modern day games, and this is one of the few games that is just all up to the user. It basically just breaks the car and smashes you up based on their physics engine. Nothing is scripted. And you can see here just how far they take vehicle destruction. I mean, you can really compact these cars down into just little cubes of metal in the end. Now, when you take it over to the racing part of the game, the good old dirt track racing, they also have some asphalt racing. This makes for a very realistic looking crash engine and a very cool track environment where cars can go flying off the track. They can take down big signs and billboards, and those will come crashing down onto the track. They'll flip cars, and you just get this game that visually looks astonishing when you're actually in the thick of it and dirt's flying around and cars are flipping and tumbling here and there. As far as the racing side of the game goes, I will say it's fun. The demo that they give you is a little bit arcadey. In fact, it's quite arcadey. You have 3 laps to go from 24th place to 1st place, which is very difficult, and especially if you're racing with keyboard and mouse, because you don't have any way to gradually step on the gas. And when you're using a car that has a 500 horsepower engine and you go from not having your foot on the gas to foot all the way down on the gas, you will spin your car out quite easily, and it makes it a bit difficult to use with just the keyboard and mouse system. So having a pedal for this game seems like it would be hugely beneficial. Now, I have to confess, I was actually a bit addicted to the first Flatout game. I played that game so much. The physics system was so much fun, and they even had a fun little arcade mode where you could go and do silly things like drive your car off of mega jumps and just watch it get smashed up. And to see what they're now capable of with modern game engines and modern CPU power, and as you can see here again, we're back in the free roam environment, just what you can do to car models here. It seems like the destruction on each car is just kind of limitless, and depending on how you hit and what kind of objects you're being smashed around by, the body of the car will start to reflect what's actually being done to it. And the first game certainly had some very impressive physics, but it wasn't on this level. Of course, Destruction Derby is also an element of this game, and the developers know how to have fun. They are making a racing game when it comes down to it, but they're still giving us cool things like this big open world environment where you can drive your car into chompers that just absolutely chew it up. And I gotta say, it is just so easy to just spend hours and hours driving your car around and destroying it in various ways, and ramming other cars through chompers, and then like pausing the game or watching it from different angles as your car just gets mutilated by different devices in this world. And I really can't wait to see what kind of extra stuff they have in the final release of the game. Some of my favorite tracks in the original Flatout were tracks that had a lot of opportunities for like head-on collisions or mid-air head-on collisions. They had a lot of tracks that would make you go opposite directions as other cars with no barrier in between you, and then you would go over like bumpy terrain, so your car would like get launched through the air and some other car would get launched through the air, and you would like have these insane head-on collisions, and then you could pause it and watch it in rewind or in slow-mo from different camera angles. So the game really is all about crashing. It's much less about having a serious, intense race and more about having like fun races where these crazy crashes can occur. And just watching some of the stuff that you can do in the demo world that they give you, the amount of tires and barrels that you can go slamming through, and then knowing that this is all going to be in multiplayer as well. So if you slam into a wall of barrels in multiplayer, everybody else is going to see that, and it kind of gives me new ideas for what's capable in modern games. And I mean, you know, this game, Next Car Game, is certainly taking advantage of what is just possible with next-gen consoles and current-day PCs. So it's clear that the developers are trying to have a lot of fun with this game. One of the few criticisms that I can give it is the name. Next Car Game is just a terrible name for any title, and it's unfortunate because the Flatout IP was kind of ruined. Bugbear Studios did Flatout 1 and 2, and then I believe a different studio did Flatout 3, and they just did such a terrible job on it that it just destroyed the Flatout IP, and I assume that's part of the reason for essentially making the same game again but calling it something different. I would highly recommend changing the name though. I mean, Next Car Game, what are you gonna have, Next Car Game 2? They need a little bit of work in the naming department, but the game actually speaks for itself in terms of its quality. I mean, already, and this is just the alpha version of the game, it's playable, it's fun, it looks really cool. They can get the recorder back in there so that I can like replay races or watch crazy epic crash moments from different angles. That was most of the fun in the original game. I mean, it was fun to actually go through the career mode and get better cars and get better at racing and actually try and work on your times and stuff like that. You know, it could become a very difficult racing game or a very challenging racing game, but the fact that ramming other cars into stuff was a big part of racing and strategy was always fun for me because, you know, I like to race dirty. I like to slam somebody into the side of a wall, run them off the side of the road if somebody in first place is giving me a lot of trouble. Well, you know, run them into a concrete barrier and they probably won't be giving you too much trouble for the rest of the race. Now, I probably won't continue to make any sort of Next Car Game videos for this channel. I like to keep things shooter-centric. As much as I love this game, I know that you guys like to focus on shooters. I like to focus on shooters. That's what my YouTube channel is about, but I just had to tell you about this game. It's so cool. It's kind of near and dear to my heart, and I hope it hopefully inspires some of you guys as far as physics engines are concerned. Maybe it'll inspire some devs to create a more free-form, less scripted physics environment for upcoming shooters. If you want to pick up this game or pick up the alpha to the game, you can get it on Steam. It's called Next Car Game. I'll put the link in the video description, and I think if you're lucky you can get it on sale. I picked mine up for around 25 bucks, which isn't too bad for a game that's already really fun in the alpha stage. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.